Patreon.com/We Studios is where you can support the show with monthly contributions of any amount you like, although certain tiers have some great prizes like unlimited free sync points and exclusive audio content, or actually exclusive video content, and weird pictures of you as teenagers.
Weird pictures of me from 1999.
But most exciting, besides maybe actually being on the show, is you get to pick the topic for 90s Percentile. So just sign up at Patreon.com/We Studios to do that.
But Jack, I thought it was a random topic generator. How could you pick the topic?
Well, this is America. Money buys everything.
You're damn right
it's
it
like
does.
Wall Street 2. Money buys everything. That was
Yeah.
that was what it was called, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Is this going to be another really long intro?
It might be.
WePodcast.com is where you can get our Simpsons podcast and sync points and all that other stuff. I don't know, you threw me off. With
You got our Reddit, our newsletter, our
YouTube.
Patreon page, our YouTube page, all of our social media. It's all at WePodcast.com. It's basically the best source for We Studios on the internet.
The only source.
That's true. Enjoy the show.
60 minutes are on the clock and straight out of We Studios. This is 90s Percentile. My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we're talking everything 90s, and maybe also everything,
Everything
before and after.
What?
Personal jinx, naked talk, it only says your name.
And that's our show.
I mean, we've both been jinxed, so that's the end of the show.
That's the end of We Studios.
All right, it's been fun. It has been that fun.
We'll return all of your Patreon money in the mail.
I don't know about that. That's my money. I'm bathing in it like Scrooge McDuck.
So I think they can tell there's no guest today.
No guest today, folks.
By the way, Dan.
Oh, I'm Dan. Oh, and Jack Dan.
No.
Jack.
All right.
Beetlejuice.
It's showtime.
Yeah, it's definitely a solo episode. Sorry for in advance if this is your first time.
Well, I guess we probably got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
That's what got Arrested Development canceled.
Do most podcasts start with an apology to first-time listeners? Do first-time listeners jump in with episode 67? They might. I mean, I don't know what the topics are going to be. You guys know if you're listening.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about is our topics.
Oh.
So this is the first of our We Light.
Weelite.
How do you spell it?
It's WEE hyphen LITE, which is light. I mean, leet. Shit.
It's We Light.
It's We Light. It's fine.
So why do we call it We Light? Because some very special fans who have donated
$10 and up.
Our $10 tier on Patreon, they get to pick whether they're a Worst Episode Ever fan and they can pick a Simpsons episode that we'll cover, or in this case, they're a 90s Percentile fan, they can pick the 90s topic that will start off an episode of the show.
Yeah.
And that's why we call them We Light, because they're lesser fans.
That's exactly right. They give us money like idiots.
The economy is not like Trump is president. The Fed doesn't know what they're doing. Anything could happen. We're just on thin ice. Snapchat's IPO is back to its original price.
You know,
why don't you just throw some money at some guys who apologize at the start of their podcast?
And start off with Beetlejuice references in 2017.
And may or may not have done 10 minutes of pre-record in Goldar voice.
Which may or may not be released as a Patreon exclusive. We'll see. But yes, that's true, Jack. We are going to be doing our first topic is going to be coming from our We Light listeners and listeners who support us at patreon.com/We Studios at the $10 or up tier. You can get in this high status list. There's a special link for this. This is a different random topic generator entirely.
Oh, wow. It says random topic picker, I noticed.
Well, that is the regular. Okay, so it's the regular random topic generator.
Wait, so you've been lying to me the whole time?
I'm using a different Excel sheet with different
suggestions. So it's
suggestions.
always been called the random topic picker?
Yes.
Why did you put that?
I didn't put that. The man we hired to build it for us. A guy in India, we paid him $15.
You didn't give him the name?
I don't remember.
Did you tell him we need to pick topics
I didn't think this podcast would last more than like a couple of weeks. I thought we'd do a couple of test shows and be like, that wasn't very good. Instead, we released all of them.
I feel like it's like a baby that got swapped in the nursery the day it was born. We've been calling it by the wrong name this whole time.
I bet I can change it.
Also, I should be picking topics, by the way.
It's over here.
The original plan for the show was we would alternate topics in a given episode. We would both take turns picking. And I'm missing some kind of Google extension that would probably take 5 seconds to download.
I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure that the wizard I hired to make it made it specially molded to my computer, and that's how it's going to be.
Like those smart guns from Dread.
That's exactly
if
right.
If I try to pick a topic from the generator, my hand's going to blow
It'll
up.
backfire, and like Armand Asante, it will not turn out well for you. Is that what happened at the end? Oh, the other
talking
Dread.
About the good Dread.
Oh, the good Dread. No. Didn't Armand Asante... No, wasn't that in the bad Dread?
The gun?
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I'm pretty sure it was. The good Dredd didn't have like guns. Like it was like a fingerprint
it had a
in
smart gun. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that was the original Dredd.
Avon Barksdale from The Wire tried to use it, and his hand blew up.
Oh, that does sound familiar. All right, you win. Armand Desante died a different way in the original Judge Dredd. The law. That was the line from the movie. All right, let's move on to the random topic generator.
I would have backed you. I wouldn't have left you hanging there.
You left me very much hanging.
I had nothing to contribute. What could I do?
No, you didn't. You had nothing to contribute. That is accurate. All right, I have our first topic. It comes from Dan Dennis.
By the way, Judge Dredd, the bad one.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It's
in
a
bad
good
way.
bad movie.
Bad in a good way.
I'd say
It
it's
has
good
its
in a,
moments.
I'd say it's good
like
in a bad
that scene
way.
where they're in the desert and they got that wacky family.
Yeah, the family of mutants.
It's fun. They're having fun.
It's
Rob Schneider. He's not the worst sidekick to have,
isn't he?
Maybe no, he's not the worst.
Who's the worst sidekick
The
to
worst
have?
sidekick ever in a movie?
In anything ever. Who's the worst sidekick? This is a brain thinker.
I mean, the Winter Soldier killed Captain America, didn't he, at some point?
Well, Sharon Carter actually did that in the comics.
okay.
So, but she was being mind controlled by the Red Skull, and the bullet was actually a time bullet that sent him dislodged through time.
Oh, God. Green Arrow's sidekick, he was on drugs.
Talking about Speedy?
He was on the heroin. That's
Speedy was on drugs, and then he lost an arm and became Arsenal.
Yeah, and addiction's not a disease; it's a choice. So,
wow, bold stance, hot take from Jack.
Also, vaccines make your kids dum-dums.
That's less of a hot take and more a proven scientific fact, but. Anyway, it's time to get to our first topic of the show. So this one comes from Dan Dennis, who is a Patreon supporter. So thank you, Dan. You get to skip to the top of the line.
Thank you, Double D. And
with
if you,
this, no, you go first.
Okay, I was going to say, I bet you he could have like an awesome Daredevil logo.
He sure could.
You should buy, if you don't
Double
have
D.
one, you should buy a Daredevil shirt with the crossed Ds.
I don't.
No, not you. I'm talking to Dan.
No. I thought because I renamed myself Dan Dennis. I'm now Dan Dennis. That's what happens when you pay $10 or more. I take your name and your power.
You're lesser Dan.
Look, all right, let's not bring up bits from the last episode.
Yeah, God forbid we have any continuity.
No
in
continuity.
this show.
We want every episode to stand equal and apart from each other.
So the audience listening to this one for the first time, because one of our tweets went
That's right,
viral,
yeah.
or for whatever reason we exploded in the last week.
They should all be
and they're
compact.
all checking this episode.
This is the one, and we don't want to mess him up. It's He-Miss from Worst Episode Ever. We don't want to cross-pollinate things.
And now it's sync points.
Girl, it's sync points.
Here's some old Simpsons fan fiction I wrote, and some Weird Al songs I wrote.
We haven't done the fan fiction thing in forever.
Since
and
literally
like the episode
maybe
15,
2014.
I think. Yeah. But anyway, this is not us talking about our other podcast. This is another podcast.
We should do a We Studios podcast.
Behind the studio.
we behind. No, that's terrible.
All right, it was a first try.
Whatever the joke name is, assume I came up with something really clever and witty right now.
They did.
Then it would be parentheses a We Studios podcast.
I kind of like that.
Because it would be a podcast about We Studios.
We should do that as a Patreon exclusive.
This week, episode 16, we're talking about He-Miss. Like, what's your favorite He-Miss
What are the
moment?
origins of He-Miss?
I like that we're doing nerd voices as stereotypical white guy podcast hosts. Even though, that's this right now. That's what this is coming out.
Show. Is this going to be one of those episodes where we don't get to the
No,
topic?
because Dan paid good money.
Dan paid good money. All right, so Dan Dennis, we said your name. We had a whole bit about
my
it.
favorite Star Trek episode?
Which
No,
one?
I'm just kidding.
The one with the goatee people.
That's a good one.
The
Jonathan Frakes, he's in all the episodes.
Bazinga. Talk about white nerds, am I right?
Yep.
Boy, I have no idea.
I feel like you try to work in boyoyoing into every episode lately.
You gave me a look like you were hoping I would say something funny, and boyoyoing is what came out.
I gave you the boyoyoing look.
Oh, yeah.
I gave a girl a boyoyoing look on the elevator
I'll bet
today.
you did.
She didn't
She
like
did
it.
not appreciate it. Hey, what's wrong with these broads today? Am I right?
It's like a broad sea. This is evil broad.
Did you hear Broad City is going to bleep the word Trump in all of season 4?
I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I noticed
It's cute.
People on Facebook do the whole 45 thing because Trump's very he wants his name everywhere and to use his name. I feel like there's something very juvenile, and I feel like it's putting your head in the sand, sticking fingers in your ears, la 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 la. President Trump's not our president.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like that same vein of hashtag not my president. It's like, no, he is. Let's fucking deal with this horrible. Can you imagine And I don't want to compare Trump to Hitler because Hitler's much worse.
Sure.
But can you imagine, like, in 1940s Germany, just like hashtag not my Holocaust? Like,
Oh, boy.
I'm going to bleep the word Holocaust and pretend it's such a horrible thing. I'm not going to even say it. Like, no, fucking own it and be like, this is terrible. Trump is president.
Yeah.
Look at where we are right now.
Are we going to get hashtag not my Holocaust
No,
trending
don't
after
do
this
that.
episode? Is that
Don't do
why
that.
all the new listeners are coming into this episode? They're like, what is this?
This is this anti-Semitic podcast I
No,
really
it's
want to
not.
hate listen to.
No, it is not.
And then we're just like, sorry, right off the bat.
Sorry, this was going to be terrible. We love Jews. We do, by the way.
Well, I mean, some.
It sounds weird to say. Yes, because some percentage of all people are assholes.
Yeah.
We love all people equally.
No.
And we
What
hate all
about
people
murderers?
equally. I love murderers. They're so
What about
much fun at
ISIS?
parties.
What about ISIS? Do you love ISIS equally? As much as the Pope? You said you love everybody equally. Do you love ISIS as much as you love the Pope?
I said what I meant, and I meant what I said. So there you go. ISIS and
Deal
the Pope.
with it.
Deal with it, people.
This is the new episode 68 of 90s Percentile. We're getting real.
we got hot takes about stuff. The Pope and ISIS, same person.
You want to bleep Trump? Go fuck yourself.
Dan Dennis is like, I really want them to get to my topic.
Get my money.
This is fun and all, but yes, I'm paying $10 a month for this.
Okay, let's get to his topic.
All right, guys. I assume we'll just delete all of that other stuff.
We can't. This isn't worst episode
what?
ever.
It's not. Then why is Hemus here? It wasn't even Hemus that was freed.
And now the fans are like, it wasn't what? It's really what?
It's worst episode ever. Listen to all 104 episodes to get
Plus
caught
all
up.
the deleted
Plus all-
scenes because sometimes we reference things that are in those.
It's true. It's very true.
It's a rich tapestry.
You need to listen to all of our podcasts in chronological order to really make sense of any
It's
of
like
this.
the Millennium Giants comics run. You have
true.
to,
Yep.
if you miss one issue of Steel, one back issue of Steel,
You're
you have
fucked.
no idea what Superman and Batman are up to.
Yeah, and if you get all of our episodes and put them together, it creates a giant comic book cover of the Millennium Giants.
Not even like a Wii Studios equivalent.
No, it's the
just-
Millennium
it's
Giants.
just like-
It's Draxor or whatever the hell their
There
names
was
were.
no Draxor.
It might have been a Draxor.
There
You don't
wasn't
know
a
that.
Draxor.
It could have been a Draxor.
Alexa, was there a Draxor in the Millennium Giants?
I'm still learning about pig questions. Try asking Tommy a pig fact.
Did she say kid
I
questions?
thought she said big questions, which is very strange.
Anyway.
I guess we do have a guest. It's Alexa.
Let's get to Danny D.
Danny D. All right. Thank
What's
you
the
so much,
nickname
Dan.
for Dennis?
Denny. Denny.
Yeah, all right. So Danny.
Denny. I wonder if he's ever gotten that before. Dan
I'm
Dennis,
sure he's gotten it a lot.
write in and tell us if you've ever gotten Denny.
I feel like all of our jokes.
You just got double D'd.
I feel like our entire shtick is stuff that literally everybody got sick of a long time ago.
But we
not.
Oh, my wife. My name is Borat.
In Soviet Russia, Borat jokes tell you.
Hey, who's on first? I don't know. Third base.
Take my wife, please.
Rock like joke.
What? Oh, caveman.
Like
Like
a
the first caveman joke. Okay.
Yes, I'm glad you got that from Grok like joke.
Rock.
We've got
Rock.
Raru.
What? Say who's there? What did you say, Raru?
Who's there?
Did you say
I
Raru?
did say Raru.
What's Raru? What is that? Is that caveman for who's there?
I guess. You don't know that it's not.
Rock.
Rock who?
Rocky Road.
Oh boy.
That's an ice cream that'll be invented in millions of years.
Part of me thinks we should start over and that this episode is unreleasable.
Are we recording? Oh, okay, good.
Is it good? Maybe it would have been a blessing. Oh, all right. I need a second here.
Danny's paid an Alexander Hamilton, right?
Yes,
All right.
one hammy from Danny.
So let's get to a toppy from Jenny Picker.
All right, so here we go. Dan Dennis's topic from the We Light topic
Light.
generator. It is Steven Spielberg's 1990s animation projects. So you are talking about Tiny Toons, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, and a little show called Freakazoid.
I wish we had started 10 minutes earlier. That's a lot of stuff.
That's a weighty topic, and I'm sure all of them are individual topics in their own right. But
I've never seen in a single episode of Freakazoid.
Don't you fucking say that, and I knew you were going to say that.
I don't give a fuckazoid.
Freakazoid was phenomenal. What a great show. I have the DVDs. I would lend them to you, except I loaned you my Gotham Central comics when we started Worst Episode Ever fucking 3 years ago, and you haven't touched them.
So when I talk about that, at least people can jump right in and be like, "Oh, I wonder what Jack's progress is on the Gotham comics."
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, so.
Zero.
That's why
Zero
I do it.
progress.
I
That's
do it
good.
so new listeners have something to latch on to.
Something to latch on to.
My knowledge of Gotham comics.
Yeah, did you hear that Animaniacs is coming back, actually?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that either, because what's the deal? Are they trying to go for adults or for kids? Like, are they trying to do an Animaniacs for people who grew up with it? Like, I feel like...
It reeks of nostalgia, said the 90s podcast host.
Well, yeah. I like, things like the Countries of the World song or like the Capitol song.
Also, it's the original voice actors, right? Like
I think so. Rob Paulson.
Yeah, but Rob Paulson's like pushing 60.
Rob Paulson.
Is Yakko going to talk like, it's me, Yakko?
He's still got it, Rob Paulson.
Call me Yakov now. Yakko is just too juvenile. I'm an old man. I go by my full name.
You could do it. Maybe they should call it Steven. Steven, if you're listening, call up Jack.
Russia, Ukraine, and Galakazaka.
That famous country of Galakazaka. That's how they're going to... That's the first episode of the show. Russia and Ukraine and Galakazaka.
That's the end. Now let's spin the wheel of morality.
Yeah, that's it. And that's it. They brought it back just to do those two things. Amazing.
It cost $80 million.
It did. Yeah, so they're bringing that back.
Before we talk about that, you just
Yes.
reminded me of something rather current events. I think it was a few days ago.
Okay.
So, multiple days ago when this comes out.
Yeah.
Have you heard the new DuckTales theme song yet?
I have not.
Neither have I. Should we do a first look?
Sure. I'm really excited about this DuckTales show, actually.
you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm an adult man, so
Again,
I can't get that excited about cartoons.
Like, wouldn't the old one suffice? Do we need a new
Well,
one?
what's strange is you just YouTubed DuckTales' new theme song, and I see they had the cast announcement last year where the new cast was singing the old theme song.
I don't want a new. I don't want famous people doing the voices.
Oh, I kind of do.
That kind of defeats the purpose.
They got really good people, though.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't.
Beck Bennett as Launchpad is fucking brilliant.
Why?
Because he has that personality. Like he totally is that guy.
He's Launchpad?
He's Launchpad, man.
I don't know.
Any landing you can walk away from.
He's not a doofus.
But he could play a doofus really well.
Who's playing doofus?
I don't know.
Josh Gad.
I could totally see that.
He looks like doofus.
He does. Lin-Manuel Miranda is playing Gizmo Duck.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I don't want famous people because
Look, Lin-Manuel Miranda is my best friend, and I'm very excited for him to have work.
Lenny M.M. is
Lenny
my
M&Ms.
worst enemy.
How dare you, sir? You take that back.
He challenged me to a duel, and he still hasn't had the balls to show up.
Son of a bitch. That goes against the 10 Duel Commandments. Where are my Hamilton people at? That's one of the songs.
Wouldn't 10 duel be 20?
10 Duel be 20. Grok like joke.
Grok joke. No, I mean, like I love DuckTales, the original, but
Yeah, of
I
course.
wasn't like when I was watching as a little kid. I wasn't like, oh, I'm so glad C. Thomas Howell was the voice. Like it didn't matter.
But I mean, kids wouldn't know that. I mean, that is stunt casting
you're
to bring
saying-
in people
so you're
like
saying
us.
This is for us.
I am.
Okay. All right. You want to ride the levels? Ride the snake.
Ride the snake. All right, here's the levels.
All right. Here's the new 2017 DuckTales intro.
All right, with our live reaction on air. We'll get back to Dan's topic soon.
Life is like a
I already hate it.
hurricane here in
Oh, this is the old song, though. They've just
Yeah, of
redone
course.
it. Oh.
airplanes.
I like that Donald Duck's wearing his old school black uniform.
I actually really like the animation.
Yeah, it looks like the old comics. Oh, I used to have that puzzle. I used to do that puzzle. With him in the buried treasure, that was like a jigsaw
Yeah.
puzzle I did every day as a kid.
I like the whole aesthetic and the fact that there's like comic panels and it's kind of reminiscent of the
Yeah,
old
it's-
Scrooge.
it's basically they're doing the comics.
Yeah. Which I've never read, like all the old Carl Barth
I had
stuff.
one, and it was awesome.
They're supposed to be incredible.
Where are they now? Some kind of void?
They are in the void dimension that all 90s characters wind up in at some point. I don't know who some of these people are. I see
Brian
the
Cox
Beagle
should
Boys.
play that arch nemesis of Scrooge, the shorter, fatter
Absolutely.
Scottish duck.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know. I'm on board.
But
I think it looks good.
But it's just gonna be a kid cartoon.
Yeah, I mean it's fucking DuckTales on the Disney
I
Network.
want like adult jokes. I want like John Oliver level like social satire.
You want wit and satire in your DuckTales show.
All right. Anyway,
you may be the only
so
one.
I just want to talk about that. So
Actually,
let's reboot. Yeah.
We're talking about reboot? No, honestly,
the
I
reboot
think
of Animaniacs. Yeah.
is that what you want in an Animaniacs show? Like, that would be an interesting thing to do. Like
could
a
see them
satirical.
doing
I mean, to
because
an
they're not a
extent,
show. They're not a sitcom.
to an extent, they did that. Like back in the day, Animaniacs definitely tackled like adult topics. You remember the one where they went to Iraq and they were bothering Saddam Hussein?
No, I do not.
And there's a joke, I always remember this, where Wacko is eating the map of the area, and Saddam Hussein goes, stop, you're eating Kuwait, and he goes, needs salt. Like the Strategic Arms Limitation Treaty.
Oh, that's
Smart joke. Smart joke. Didn't
So
get
was
it until much later.
Was Animaniacs also written for parents, or was
I think so, yeah. I mean, Pinky and the Brain, when that was spun off into its own show,
Became
it
an adult
premiered
show,
in prime time.
yeah, and it tanked?
Yeah, but then and eventually they added Elmira from Tiny Toons, and that didn't help it.
Yeah,
but
because the people watching at 9 o'clock at night as a primetime adult show were the same kids watching Animaniacs at 4 p.m. My mom wasn't going to watch Pinky and the Brain.
right, but people who were watching The Simpsons would.
Would
Potentially.
they?
Well, I mean,
I don't
I
think
think
they
that's the market they're going after. We just have these weird new DuckTales videos playing because we didn't turn YouTube
it's
off.
Weird.
That was weird. I don't know what that was. But Animaniacs, I mean, I thought it was a great show, but not all of the characters were my favorite. Who was your least favorite character on Animaniacs? Because they had so many different
I'd have to say
shows within the show.
I'd have to say Dot because I hate women. No,
No.
wait, no, that's not right.
Well, I don't even mean between. Okay, so you had the Warner brothers and the Warner sister, Yakko, Wacko, and Dot.
which I never understood. I never got the joke until like
Oh, yeah.
2 months ago that her name
Oh.
Dot.
Wait, what?
So they're the Warner brothers,
You're right.
and then she's the Dot from W.B. Wait, is there dots in the WB?
Like Warner Bros. BROS.
Yeah, that's
period.
it. That's it. It's,
She's
the Dot and the Bros. Yeah,
Is that for real? I've never thought of that in my life.
I heard that a couple months ago.
that. I mean, it makes sense.
No, I remember the Minerva Mink ones. I thought I was always bored during.
Yeah, that's not my favorite. Rita and Runt was never my favorite.
Oh, I liked that dog.
I liked
and I
the-
liked the voice. What was that? Cat Suchi? Who did the voice of?
Well, are you thinking of Buttons and Mindy?
I'm thinking of Buttons and Mindy. Who's Rita and Runt?
Rita and Runt were like two
squirrels?
straight. No, that was Slappy Squirrel. And
She was the
and
best.
Slappy was fucking great. Yeah.
They should get Brett Butler to play her in the movie.
That would be really good casting. Rita and Runt were like on the street, a cat and a dog on the street, like trying to live. The only one I remember really well is they did like this really long Les Mis parody where they were
I do remember that.
Les Miserables Animals, which was not very clever.
No. I don't know.
Yeah, Good Feathers.
I loved Goodfeathers.
That was good.
Yeah. What was your least favorite?
My Read and Run was my least favorite.
okay.
I liked Chicken Boo a lot though. That was such a great that was such a
Forgot
great
about
joke
Chicken-
because the entire premise was he's a giant chicken, but everyone is like thinks he's like a star quarterback or like a
was like,
famous actor, except one person who's like, isn't it just a giant chicken? And then that guy is crazy.
It was like being there.
Yeah, I've never seen Being There, but I assume it had a giant chicken in it.
did, yeah.
All right. I gotta see it then because I love Chicken Boo.
I completely forgot about Chicken Boo for over 2 decades.
I'm
until
happy to
just this
remind you.
moment.
That's what we're here for at 90s
All right,
Percentile.
here's something I want to talk about, especially since these are all probably individual topics. What ties these in together? Why did Steven Spielberg make it his mission to bring back the Warner Brothers characters and then do this weird other thing with Animaniacs? And Freakazoid I can kind of see is up his wheelhouse with.
Okay, so you say bring back Warner Brothers characters. So
talking about Tiny Toons,
Tiny
yeah.
Toons was the first one, and that was kind of like a Tiny Toons the next generation almost,
right.
where it's
There
instead
was
of Bugs Bunny, it's Babs Bunny
he
and
was-
Buster Bunny.
He was like a Bugs Bunny, but he was blind. He had to wear a visor that could see the entire electromagnetic spectrum.
Wait, now I see what you're doing. I
Like
didn't
Star
get it
Trek, The
first,
Next
'cause, like, just
Generation,
like Geordie LaForge.
Rockwell Rogue, Rockwell Rogue.
Star Trek Grog favorite show. Anyway.
Jump the shark with Star Trek Nemesis.
Oh God! But Tom Hardy was in it, wasn't he? Or is that the other one?
It was. He played Shinzor. He raped Deanna Troy.
Oh no! Really?
Yes.
Oh jeez, they really did jump the shark
That's why
with
Grok
Nemesis.
don't like.
Oh boy!
That's why Grok switched to Geico.
You save more than 15% or some shit. The Geico thing is such bullshit because it's like
I represent. Don't. You're gonna get me in trouble.
it's save up to 15% or more on your car insurance. That doesn't mean anything.
Save up to 50% or more.
Up to 15%
So literally
or
0
more.
to infinity.
Exactly. It doesn't mean anything. It's just anchoring to put 15% in your mind. Anyway,
I know.
We're not talking about advertising here.
Friend of a show. He hates Geico and he drives a lot. So
I have no opinion of Geico, really. That bothers me in the ads. But anyway, that's not our topic. I wanted to talk about Tiny Toons and what a brilliant idea that was to have all the old Looney Tunes characters be teachers at this school teaching a next generation of characters.
Right.
I fucking loved Tiny Toons when I was a kid.
A cartoon, I guess.
This is how I'm a cartoon?
No, I guess.
I see. Yeah, that's what the school. It was a Looniversity,
was it, Acme
actually.
University?
Acme Looniversity.
Looniversity.
Where they earn their Toon degrees. The teacher staff's been getting laughs since 1933. We're tiny, we're toony, we're
and that's all we can sing without Spielberg suing us.
It's true. So sorry, Stephen.
Next time.
Don't send your lawyers. Disney already might be sending us for playing the whole DuckTales theme.
We'll
but
take you all on.
Yeah, we got a great lawyer.
We do?
Yeah, we got me. I don't know. Oh, boy.
What did you major in?
Not law. Anyway, I don't know what Steven Spielberg's capacity actually was. I do remember.
Oh yeah, he was just plaster his name over shit back then, huh?
I mean,
Like Back to the Future and.
yeah. I mean, he was like, he was Hollywood's it guy in the 80s and 90s, so he could produce whatever. And
now
it
he's
was,
more
it
like
was gold.
Hollywood's zit guy.
Is he? I don't know. I don't even know the last Spielberg movie I saw other than Indiana
There's a
Jones 4.
huge. Just today, there was a huge kerfluffle because Elizabeth Banks was giving him shit.
Oh yeah, I heard about that
for not having strong female
women.
leads, and
Yeah.
then Black Twitter attacked her because she's basically ignoring color purple, which
Oh, I never saw
they're
Color Purple.
right, but
Yeah.
again, one movie in an entire oeuvre doesn't really.
I mean, strong female
Makeup.
characters aren't really Steven Spielberg's wheelhouse. You would
Right.
think that maybe as he got older, he would maybe explore that.
Try
but,
a little harder.
Yeah, I
you know,
don't know.
maybe do a report on certain minorities,
Oh.
although they are the majority of the earth. So.
Starring Tom Cruise and Colin Farrell. What a Minority Report. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I remember specifically Spielberg related of the shows, and this was a Freakazoid thing, so you don't even know what I'm talking about. There was a cold open in Freakazoid. You would fucking love Freakazoid. There was a cold open where Freakazoid goes and talks to Buster and Yakko.
What show is this?
Freakazoid.
Okay.
And they're like arguing over which show is Steven's favorite.
Are they all on at the same time? Freakazoid, I always.
They all were,
So the
yeah.
reason I didn't watch Freakazoid was because I always remember it coming on later. I was
Freakazoid
too old for it.
94, 95, I think?
Yeah, I was 10 years old. I was too old for that shit.
No, that is literally the perfect age.
No, I was too old.
No,
I was already reading Michael
Jack,
Crichton. And
you don't even know what Freakazoid is about.
I was reading Michael Crichton, and I was working on my doctorate.
Oh, okay. You also studied not law, huh? Yeah. No, Freakazoid was this if it was on now, it would do so well because it was this wonderful takedown of like
Trump?
superhero
Oh.
dynamics and Trump too. Also,
Which there probably was Trump jokes in Animaniacs.
there might have been Trump jokes. That's why I didn't really like it so much. Yakko, he didn't wear a shirt, and Wacko, he didn't wear pants. It was confusing. I felt weird urges. But there was an opening on Freakazoid where they were like, which one's Steven's favorite? And they go to Steven Spielberg's office, the three of them.
Very Dark Tower.
Yeah, yeah. And they're like, which one of us is your favorite? And he just goes, who are you people? And I think it was his actual voice, just that one line.
Now, is the joke just being that they're nobody to him, or is the joke being that he really has nothing to do
I
with
think
the
the joke
production?
was he has nothing to do with the show.
Like
and,
J.J. Abrams with Lost.
Well, J.J. Abrams directed the pilot, and
literally did nothing else.
He set the tone in the beginning.
Did nothing else. He had nothing to do with this. None of his DNA in that show.
The first season was him.
No, it wasn't.
It was partially
The
him.
first episode was
All
him.
right, it was just the first episode. It was his idea
I mean,
to have a guy
his
named Jack.
casting was pretty good, but
Yeah, Lost a great show.
oh yeah, it's fantastic.
Leftovers is a better show.
There was a clue on Jeopardy today. Where spoilers for Lost. The clue was actually Josh Holloway played Sawyer, who survived a plane crash and 6 whole seasons on Lost. It's like,
Oh.
that's a big deal to do. Like 10 years later, you have a Jeopardy clue about which of the 4 or 5 people survived the entire run of the show.
Yeah, that's true. Good old Sawyer.
I love Lost.
Lost is a fantastic show. But it's not our topic, Jack. Our topic is Steven Spielberg's animated universe in the 90s.
Right.
We haven't talked about Pinky and the Brain at all, other than to say that adults wouldn't like it, which I don't know if is true. It was great.
And again, that's kind of, I guess it's written for adults in that it was a Orson Welles parody that I never understood as a kid.
Yeah, the voice of the Brain was Maurice LaMarche's Orson Welles' voice, and
Right.
Rob Paulson was the voice of Pinky. I know so many voice actors from the 90s. It's nuts.
There's them.
I think
there's others.
I'm trying to think if I could name all of the 4 original Ninja Turtles. Rob Paulson was Raphael. Townsend Coleman was Michelangelo. What's his name? He was also Deflator Mouse on the Tick, was Leonardo. Oh, man, it's on the tip of my tongue. And then Uncle Phil was Shredder. Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince.
Should we ask Alexa?
Donatello was he was on Curb once.
She's listening.
Alexa, who did the voice of Donatello in the 1987 Ninja Turtles?
I'm still learning about turtle questions. Try asking Tommy a turtle fact to learn more about them.
Shut the fuck up.
Jack, you got to get Alexa on board with her turtle facts.
So when it came in the box, there was like I could literally read all of the turtle facts to her, but
Yeah.
I felt like it was counterintuitive.
Is that how you have to train Alexa? You
read
it
the
facts,
encyclopedia.
and then it can spit it back at you. That's not bad.
No.
All right. I don't know what else we can say about the Steven Spielberg shows. They were all great. I think some of them still hold up. I mean, I think Freakazoid definitely holds up.
So Spielberg, besides being just this master director, really, really interesting when he was at his peak. I still think
Untouchable.
I know it's silly to say this. I still think today he's underrated. I feel like people have kind of forgotten about him a little too quickly.
Well, another thing that may or may not be coming back, I think Brian Fuller, who does American Gods now and has had a bunch of different
Star
TV
Trek
series.
Discovery.
Yeah, he is potentially bringing back Amazing Stories, which was Spielberg's anthology show in the 80s.
Yeah, I've seen it before when it was called Twilight Zone.
I love anthology series like Twilight Zone and Amazing Stories and all of their
Black
ilk.
Mirrors.
Black Mirror, absolutely. I would love that if that came back. And yet you get good directors from now doing like these short stories with great casts. Oh, I'd be so excited for that.
Well, anyway, he's a baby boomer, and he spoke to the baby boomer generation. Like, his movies were very much of that ilk.
Yes and no. I think his biggest talent was kids. Like, he could speak to kids
He was
really well.
speaking to kids baby boomers. They were speaking to kids who grew up in the 60s and in the 50s.
No, I think he was speaking to their kids.
No, he wasn't. His whole thing, like E.T. and... he was basically recreating his childhood.
Right, but E.T. is a kid's movie, and he's saying this is what it's like to be a kid. I think we're both saying the same thing.
E.T. wasn't the biggest box office movie of all time.
Yeah.
Because kids were going. It was because parents were taking their kids.
It's because families were going, and I think we're saying the same thing in that he appealed to both kids and adults because he's very good at displaying that childlike sense of wonder in the world.
Okay, so I think the cartoons. Again, I know nothing about Freakazoid. But Tiny Toons and Animaniacs were very much kids' shows that were written for baby boomers. Basically, baby boomers were the ones who gave a shit about Looney Tunes and grew up on it. And the Animaniacs jokes were a little bit more mature. Is
that true though about Tiny Toons and Looney Tunes? Because I grew up with Looney Tunes, and I know you did. I know you love Looney Tunes.
Yeah,
we watched it in reruns. It
Yeah,
was still
we
a
did.
big a part of our lives as it was our parents.
I suppose we did.
Which will not happen again because now everyone can watch everything at all times. Everyone's going to grow up with all sorts of different shit.
That's true. But like Animaniacs, I remember they did one or two of these cartoons that were remakes of Looney Tunes cartoons, where they would do like the 1953 Oscars, and they had big caricatures of Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra.
Yes, Art Carney.
Yeah, exactly. And these would have with Whoopi Goldberg, and they'd have like Lethal Weapon jokes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now I'm guessing that was more for the parents.
Yeah,
What kid is going to go? Oh, it's lethal. I mean, this was me, of course, but I'm not. I'm not normal.
Well, but
it's
here's
like,
the thing.
the Lethal Weapon 3 cast.
I feel like the show was made for people who are not normal, and it's a thing like with The Simpsons when there'd be a highbrow Simpsons joke that you don't totally get the reference, but you kind of learn it through the Simpsons joke.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how Animaniacs was. Like, I'll never forget what salt is as far as the first Iraq War because of that.
I guess what I'm saying is maybe Spielberg's involvement wasn't as tangential as we're saying. Maybe he is the perfect combination of 4 kids / 4 baby boomers, or 4 kids seen through the prism of baby boomers.
I think that is accurate. And whatever involvement he had, I think they were all great shows. I would love if Freakazoid came back.
So I guess this is another way, because you're saying it's for kids and I'm saying it's for the parents.
Yeah.
Here's another way to put it. That maybe his if you could nail a theme to his movies of the 80s and 90s besides daddy
Fatherhood.
issues,
Yeah.
nostalgia.
Yeah.
So Back to the
Jones.
Future, which he produced, that was literally about going back to the 50s and
Sure.
seeing your parents.
Indiana Jones is a
Indiana
throwback to
Jones,
the old
throwback to the
serials.
movies they like to go see in the theater.
Yeah.
So again, you have Tiny Toons. Can't get more nostalgic than literally recreating your favorite show.
Right.
Whether we were watching Looney Tunes or whatever, if our grandkids were watching, it doesn't matter. The fact that he watched them as a kid and he brought them back.
Yeah.
So that's that. Animaniacs were new characters, but there was something.
But Animaniacs,
Again, nostalgic about it.
it was this weird. It was almost kind of like a variety show kind of thing,
Which
and
was nostalgic, 'cause
That
variety shows
aspect
weren't a
was
thing.
like a throwback kind of thing. Yeah.
And then I don't know. Again, I don't know about Freakazoid.
I mean, I feel like Freakazoid had the least of his hand in it, and it was really just this nerdy superhero show.
So he's a
It was-
superhero. He's from Earth.
Yes. The whole
He's
gimmick,
blue.
the gimmick with Freakazoid is that
He
it
wears
must
a
have started
mask.
in 95 and ended in 97. I think that was what it was.
Okay.
His whole deal was he was a nerd named Dexter Douglas who accidentally, his cat walks along his keyboard and he types in this code.
Yeah, computer.
Yeah. The whole thing was
In 95?
the internet turns him into Freakazoid. He gets pulled into the internet, and the raw intelligence and information and data of the internet makes him lose his mind, and he turns into Freakazoid.
Oh, so it's Chuck.
Kind of, but it's much better than Chuck.
Did kids know what the internet was in '95? I didn't.
I mean, they explained it.
Oh, all right.
They were like, he went into
it's this
cyberspace.
It's this network of computers. I
Was
guess
it
you're right. I was
96?
watching
Now I'm-
Superhuman Samurai.
Now I'm curious.
I was watching Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad and didn't know what the internet was. So I guess that's. I guess that works. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really great show, and it was also very much a variety show. They kind of dropped that in the second season. It became much more like almost like a Venture Brothers type show,
So he's
where
a
it's
super
parodying
genius?
the tropes. Well, he's two personalities. So Dexter Douglas was like
He's
his.
two personalities.
He's two people. We're cross-pollinating podcasts again. He was just this nerdy schlub, and they honestly used less and less of his human persona as
So
the show went
was
on.
he blue when he was in human form?
No, he would say, "Oh, freak out," and then he would say, "Oh, freak in," to turn back into Dexter
Very
Douglas.
nostalgic. This guy.
Yeah, there you go.
Why does he wear a mask then?
That's just Freakazoid. I don't know. That's just how he
It
looks.
sounds like he doesn't need the mask.
The entire it was such a fucking good show. I kind of want to go home and watch it.
It sounds like DC stole Electric Blue Superman concept from him.
Well, there was a whole controversy because the premise and the logo were very much like Madman, which was a Mike Allred comic that was kind of popular
about the
back then.
advertising in
Yep.
1960.
It was about Don Draper and the carousel.
And it was F exclamation point, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to see when the fucking show premiered. It was 1995. Yeah, September 95. So it went from 95
Was
to
that
97.
a joke, the F logo? Is that supposed to be kind of insidiously
Cheeky?
doing fuck? Like
No,
the
I
word
don't
fuck?
think. I don't think so.
F word, fuck.
I don't think so. Is the F word fuck?
Well,
Is that what it is?
Not anymore. I say fuck. I use F word for the
Oh, fuck.
gay slur.
Oh, well, I'm going to say that one.
Do
Yeah.
it, Dan. Just blurt it out.
The humor is unique in its inclusion of slapstick, fourth wall firings, parody, surreal humor, and pop cultural references. You like all of that, Jack?
That's so 90s.
You like all of that?
All right.
I think you should watch it. It's a good
I mean,
show.
I'm not going to watch a DVD, but
Well, shit. I probably won't
if you
either,
could
and I
send-
have
if
them
you
at
could
home.
send me a link.
It should be streaming somewhere. It's a damn shame that it's not, because I really think it would pick up an
Any
audience
of them
now.
streaming? I remember there was a big deal when Animaniacs was streaming.
It was on Netflix, and I think it's possible that the reboot will come out on Netflix. Like I think they're doing it, but they don't have a studio yet or a distributor, so it might end up on Netflix. Netflix gets
I
everything.
wonder what these reboots are going to be. I just
When are they going to reboot?
are they for kids?
and call it 3-boot?
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
I would have called it reboots or boot. No, boot would have been the prequel.
Oh, boot is a prequel series. Rebooted.
Yeah,
Reboot. No, that's not good.
deboot.
The show is
Das Boot.
The show is gradually turning into nothing. I think that's all we can really talk about the Steven Spielberg animated universe. I think if any of these shows come up individually, we'll have a lot to say about them. But I don't know. Do we have anything else to say?
One other thing about Tiny Toons.
Yes.
Do you think they should have been incorporated in any way with Space Jam? Because I always thought it was interesting that they came up with this Lola Bunny type,
Yeah.
who seemed to basically just be an older Babs Bunny.
It's true. I don't know. That's a good question.
Also,
I mean,
Babs Bunny was fucking awesome. She was so much better than Buster Bunny.
I
she-
like both of them, but
She had this like old like Catskills kind of humor
Yes.
that I just loved.
yeah. She did a lot of like turning to the camera and being like, meow, meow, meow.
That was my favorite. I love when she-
Insert an actual joke there.
Oh, no, I only liked when she would just do
That classic Babs Bunny humor. Who was your favorite Tiny Toons character? Was it Babs? I have an at the time one and a now one.
I mean, Plucky Duck was just
Plucky
fucking-
Duck is my
he's just
now
awesome.
one. That was a great character. But my back in the day one was Dizzy Devil. For some reason, I really liked Dizzy
The
Devil.
little Taz.
Yeah.
I remember really liking the Coyote. He was just so cute.
Sure.
He was
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like kind of a.
They didn't use the Coyote all that much. I don't even remember
Not
what his name
compared
was.
to Wile E.
Yeah,
Coyote.
yeah.
I liked the Dodo. Did
Yeah.
he have a
Dodo the Dodo
Oh,
from
he was
Wacky
like in
Land?
one or two episodes, right?
He had like
the
at least
adult Dodo?
one. Yeah. But
Like, well, who's he? Oh, I like the Vulture,
yeah, the Vulture was good.
Baby Vulture.
I always liked Dr. Gene Splicer, who was a bad guy. He was the villain in the first level of the Nintendo Tiny Toons game. And he was like a mad scientist, but he was also basically just Stephen King. Like, I'll Google him now and you can take a look. But yeah, it was, he didn't sound like Stephen King because he didn't sound like he was from New England.
I guess I gotta go with Plucky. I don't know why. I always like that third wheel sad sack character. Your Gonzos, your Pluckies, your
Yeah.
Daffies.
I mean, yeah, it was a great show. And the video game, now that I just mentioned it, the video game was fucking great too. Does that look like
I
Stephen
do
King
remember
to you?
playing the video game.
He looked like Stephen King.
I could see it. If you didn't say it, I don't know if I could see it.
I always thought it was supposed to be Stephen King, but maybe I'm wrong. What does it say? Doesn't say anything. All right.
Should we ask Alexa?
I'm on the Tiny Toons wiki, quickly reading the trivia
Should I-
while we were recording
should
a
I ask
podcast.
Alexa, she'd be like, "You'll have to read me your Tiny Toon."
Let's
manual
all right,
will be."
Alexa.
No, it's just that's what it's going to be. We've had enough dead air. You can ask.
Let's
if you
have some
want.
more. No, it's too late. All right. So, Dan Dennis, thank you for that great topic. You paid $10 to get it on there. I hope it was worth it, especially that jaunt we took into talking about DuckTales for some reason. But that is it for that. Jack, you should vamp a little bit while I set up the other random topic generator. I get what you're doing. You're vamping. Very, very good.
I don't know, I feel like I'm having an off day. What do you guys think? I feel like my heart is in it. I feel like my brain's not in it.
I think you're.
I feel like I'm not. I don't know. I feel like I can't come up with words. Even at work today, I was like,
Yeah.
You ever go to the kitchen and you forget what you went in there for?
You ever go to the kitchen and forget what you went in there for?
I was doing that with like files. Like I was opening files and I was like, why did I open this
Why did I do
file?
this?
Why?
Yeah, no.
And then I would
I've had
close
a
the
day like
file
that.
and then I would remember and then I'd have to open the file again.
Yeah.
I hate my life.
Yeah,
Just-
life sucks. But this podcast is great, and people are listening to this podcast to escape their shitty
Oh
lives.
yeah, so we should stop reminding them of how shitty their lives really
So
are.
I have another topic. This one is just from a regular old schmuck.
I just
This
came
is-
up with a good way I could have vamped. Oh well.
Do you want to vamp a little?
No, I was just gonna. I could have talked about since we're trying not to remind everybody that the world might end.
The world will end. It's just a
We could
question
do
of when.
this weekend. What did I buy for my doomsday prepping closet?
What did you buy for your doomsday prep, Jack?
I bought a 200 gigabyte mini SD card so I could store all
Okay.
of my audiobooks on hard copy.
Because you need something to do after.
Exactly.
Yeah, what are you going to go to the library and read a book?
When there's no power.
Your glasses
No,
might
you
break.
you don't want to go outside when there's no power because everybody's going to be at each other's throats.
Yes, it's very true.
Again, I'm prepping for like a 4-week blackout.
Yeah. After that, by the way,
After that, we're all dead.
I'm planning to be here if there's a big blackout.
You laughed at me one too many times.
No,
I
I'll be
will
here.
Close the door.
I have
right
a
on
key
your
to Wii
face.
Studios.
No, you do not.
You don't know that I don't.
I know you don't.
Well, I have a key to the Wii Studios P.O. box.
By
Does
the way,
that help?
somebody asked if they could send us stuff.
They can absolutely send us stuff.
good.
No one has sent us anything. We are getting nothing but junk mail from people who had the P.O. box before us. Okay. I throw it right in the garbage.
We should read it on air.
No, that is almost certainly a federal crime.
Yeah, it's our mail now.
That's not true because it's still in their name and you can't open somebody else's mail.
I think I know postal law, Dan.
All right, I forgot that it's Jack
I went-
Facone, postal lawyer.
I went to mailman law school.
I love Mailman Law School.
Whether rain or sleet or
Finish it now. You have to finish it.
snow or weather.
There you go. No, none of that
I
weather.
was trying to think of law terms, but I couldn't think of objection.
Habeas corpus.
That's the law term.
That's a law term, yes.
It means body of the habit.
Yep. Body of the habit. It means hands off my body or something like that.
Ew.
It's when you're being held against your will
Hey.
without reason. Oh, hello.
Oh, hey.
A little habeas corpus in the bedroom.
Can't habeas the willing.
Ew. I don't like that one. Guys,
I told you, I'm having an off day.
you're having an off day. You know what's going to get you back on this topic? Because this is a good topic. This is from our regular old schmuck list. You can go to wepodcast.com or 90spercentile.com. Go to the random topic generator, submit your topics. This one comes from Billy. I don't know if it's friend of the show Billy Hiller, because he didn't
Billy.
say. It could just
What
be a
is that
random
from?
Billy.
Billy. What is that anything?
I don't think that's anything.
Billy.
Billy!
That's not nothing.
The only thing that's coming to mind is Billy Madison.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that.
I don't know.
Are you thinking like, oh, Billy?
No.
The cable guy?
No.
All right. The topic from Billy is the Sears air conditioner commercial, parentheses, another Scorcher. Now, I know what he's talking about, and I assume you know what he's talking about.
So I had no idea. I have no idea what he was talking about until
I
somebody
said another Scorcher?
Somebody mentioned Somebody mentioned it
Oh.
in our Reddit a couple of months ago.
Have you not seen this commercial?
Not
that was
to-
played
not-
all the time?
No, somebody mentioned it in our Reddit, and like it was this famous thing, and I watched it, and no, I've never seen it once.
It is a very famous commercial.
guess we'll play it.
I'm shocked that you don't know it. Yeah, it is a Sears commercial from the late 90s.
Oh, and then I was convinced that the woman in it was Carla Gugino.
You think a lot of people are Carla Gugino. You did it on a couple episodes back when we watched that Justice League pilot.
Yeah, she's. I like the credit for Jim.
Oh boy, Jack's having an off night. Search another Scorcher Sears, and I guarantee it will come up. You're searching Carla Gugino.
I'm sorry, my brain's just.
Oh boy,
It's been a long week.
it has. It's Thursday night. We've
What
had
am
a
I
beer.
searching? Scorching.
Sears Scorcher. I guarantee you, it's the first result.
I used to love going to Sears.
I mean,
used to be
Sears
one of my favorite
department
like,
stores used to be
Saturday-
interesting.
Yeah, and like going to the washing machine section.
See, it's so funny. Even the description on this YouTube thing says, yes, it's that commercial with that emphasized.
Yeah,
like
no,
everyone knows this commercial,
So
Jack.
I know somebody. Oh, not Carla Gugino, the other one. I thought it was. There's this actress who always turns up. She ended up being on Army Wives. She was the NYU journalist in Seinfeld that outs Jerry and George.
Oh, yeah.
I can't
Okay.
remember her name. Paula something maybe.
I don't know.
Anyway, I thought it was her, but I don't think it is.
All right, we're going to play at least some of the famous Sears commercial.
Says tomorrow's gonna be hotter,
Hotter?
like yesterday.
Yesterday. Yesterday you said you'd call Sears.
I'll call today.
You call now.
I'll call now.
Now's the time to save.
You don't
on
remember
Sears
that?
Install
No.
central air conditioning. Get 0%
I'm sick of
finance
people
charge,
telling
no
me
billing,
I remember
and
it when I
payments
don't.
until
It was very,
August with
very
the
popular.
Sears Charge Home Improvement Plan.
Here comes another
Call
Scorcher.
now for a free in-home estimate on a Kenmore air conditioning system.
Does this count?
This is like the extended
Do
version.
they have to pay us? Is this an advertisement?
I don't think that any of this is still valid.
On your annual cooling costs. In time,
This is the
even
extended
pay for
version, 'cause
itself.
none of this is
Sears
usually in
also
there.
offers
Director's
fast
cut.
and
This is the director's cut.
installation, a
Coolio
5-year
scenes
warranty
are
on
cut.
five
Where you
years.
learn about the
Plus,
5-year
our
warranty. Yeah,
satisfaction
Coolio was on trial for
You
murder.
know Sears will be there to back you up.
I'm
Get
trying to
Wait,
keep.
nope, that's not it.
I'm trying to keep
No
everything
billing,
cool
no
here.
payments until
Oh, boy.
August.
'Cause it's air
Offer ends
conditioning
May
and-
31st.
No,
So
nothing.
call
I can't- I
now.
got
No,
nothing.
Jack,
With
wait.
Sears.
So what's the paper say about tomorrow?
Another Scorcher.
Cool.
I think it is her.
It could be. She looks familiar.
That looked like Carla Gugino.
I don't have anything to say about the commercial other than it's great. I think we needed to watch it, but I don't have anything to say about
Yeah,
it. We
I
can.
forget who brought it up in the Reddit, and I can't remember why they
It might
brought
have
it
been
up.
Billy,
Oh, because
he submitted it.
We were doing a 90s or something, maybe a Wii, and you said another Scorcher as like a one-off line, and somebody was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, good." Dan was referencing ...
Yeah.
And I watched. That's when I watched it a few months ago.
Well-
what channel was it airing on?
Like every fucking channel. That was on all the time. I remember seeing that like multiple times a
Now,
day.
You know me.
I know you.
You know I remember weird specific things. I have a decent memory.
Yeah.
From things that were before I gave up on life. And I stopped trying to remember because, they're horrible memories and I'd rather not have them anymore.
Right.
Do you... Well, there's got to be a good reason. I feel like I would have remembered it if I would have saw it. I must not have ever seen it, right?
I mean, it's a very memorable commercial.
So I
I'll call it now.
So somehow I must have. Maybe it was on during Freakazoid or something.
It might have been on during Freaks. I feel like Nickelodeon played it a lot.
I wasn't a big Nick guy.
It was a commercial that was airing during things that probably shouldn't have been airing because like so many 90s kids.
Like I remember lots of mundane house thing commercials.
What commercial
Like, I
do you remember
like,
the most? What's like in your mind? What's a 90s commercial?
U.S. Window Factory.
Yeah, that's definitely a really.
The little kid.
Should we play that one too?
These windows are from U.S. Window Factory. We'll never get in here.
That's a good commercial.
Is that local?
I don't know. That might be a New York one.
I mean, that one. What are some other
Micro Machines.
Those
commercials
the
stick
Country
out.
Crock commercials.
The one with Stu
hands.
from Rugrats.
It's just hands.
It was
No,
the
I
voice of
never
the dad from
noticed it was
Rugrats.
Stu. Yeah, I never noticed.
I got an ear for voices. I don't know his name, but it was definitely him.
I remember a lot of Purdue commercials.
Yeah, with what was his name?
Purdue,
Mr. Purdue.
Jim Purdue.
Jim Purdue, probably. All right, what are we looking up? We're looking up U.S. Window Factory. See if we can get that. Alexa, can we get that? Can we get that?
Wasn't there like a?
I'm not sure.
Wasn't there
She's
like
not
a
sure.
Mr. Coffee? Well, not a Mr. Wasn't there like a coffee commercial with like it was like a soap opera, like a man and a wife, and they like met and they fell in love and they had like an affair and.
That does sound vaguely
And then
familiar.
there was the other coffee commercial, Colombian coffee, with like the guy with
Juan
the mustache.
Valdez?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just like he'd just be there.
Oh, yeah, that I remember. All right, we got U.S. Window
This
Factory.
isn't it though, is it?
I don't know. Let's check it out.
This isn't it. No, this
There's
isn't it.
no
Don't
audio.
even bother with the audio.
This is not it. There was cartoon mosquitoes in the other
yeah,
one.
where's the cartoon mosquitoes?
We're looking for the cartoon mosquitoes U.S. Window
I
Factory
think I need to
commercial.
put commercial. Other commercials. I used to. Maybe you guys can back me up here. I was convinced that there used to be 3 chefs in the Cinnamon Toast Crunch commercials.
There were.
Oh, all right, there were because eventually
Yeah.
it was just one.
Yes, they got rid of the. There was a
There was
really
like a tall,
tall,
skinny brunette one.
There was a fat guy, and then there was just like a short guy. And I feel like they got rid of the short guy and the tall guy.
All right, so it wasn't just me.
I think I think it was too close to Snap, Crackle, and Pop, and they were like, no, Cinnamon Toast Crunch gets one spokesman.
I think it must have been local. I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not seeing. Well, but the fact that there's so many U.S. Window Factory commercials on YouTube, but not this one, that's weird.
You know what? Instead of doing that, because we're not going to find it, it's a shame.
Okay, what are we going to search instead? You got
Famous
something else?
90s
Famous 90s commercials.
Just
All
for-
right, let's do
just
it.
for some ideas here. I don't remember that one at all. What is that? Is that the Cheeto guy?
That looks like Mousetrap. I remember that one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a zany action, a crazy contraption. The fun is trapped in its Mousetrap.
Is that Jason Schwartzman?
No, that is a parody. That one's actually really funny. That every 90s commercial ever. Have you seen that? It's modern.
I loved Kicks. Mr. Bucket.
Mr. Bucket. That okay, you know what? That is the most 90s commercial. I'm Mr. Bucket. The ball
See, to
out
me,
of my
that
mouth.
I consider that like a late.
Buckets of fun.
I feel like that's like after I was a kid. I guess
No.
by
No
the time
way,
I was
dude.
like a 10 or 11, I guess I assumed I wasn't a kid anymore.
No, you
I
were
remember
very
that-
much a kid.
But I remember Mr. Bucket being a late era childhood game.
No way. When did Mr. Bucket
No,
come out?
I'm not saying it came out late, but I'm saying by
Well,
the
now
time
I
it
wanna
came
know.
by the time it came out, I was already like cognizant. I was like, "Oh, that's a new toy." You know
yeah,
what I mean?
it came out in 1992.
All right, so I remember it
You
being
were 8
a
years
new-
old,
I
motherfucker.
remember it being a new toy.
Well, it was. It was new to you.
Yeah.
It wasn't like Parcheesi. It wasn't your dad's
Exactly.
board
It wasn't
games.
already there, yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh yeah, with the Macho Man
Is
Randy
that-
Savage.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, but now I am.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I did the oh yeah.
Yeah.
but I didn't do it
Was
in his
that on
voice.
purpose?
It started to become his voice at
But
the end.
was that when I said?
Yeah, it was on
Oh,
purpose.
okay.
I love Macho Man. Rest in peace, man. He used to live on Staten Island for a brief period of time.
Yeah, I think we saw him in the car once.
What? You
that-
you and me?
Maybe it was me and Tom. I don't know. I feel like
No.
at one point we thought he was behind us in the car.
Well, that's
Um,
awesome.
Anyway, what
Anyway,
was the topic?
The topic
Mr.
was
Bucket?
the topic was the Sears commercial, which we watched,
Oh.
and I don't think we have anything
And
else to
it's a
say about
Scorcher,
it.
yeah.
Another Scorcher.
I really don't remember it whatsoever.
I'll call tomorrow. You'll call today.
I'm pretty sure
I'll
that's.
call
I'm pretty sure that. What's so funny about it?
It's very funny when you see it 1,000 times in a row.
Is it like how fakey friendly it is? Like how
I mean,
fakey.
there was like a weird Dutch angle happening, and it's also just like this, like really sitcom-y, Full Housey kind of thing. Like you'll call today. I'll call today.
I honestly don't see what's memorable
Another
about it whatsoever.
people. If you say another Scorcher to people
no,
our
I
age,
understand
they know
that.
what you're talking about.
I understand that. I just don't see why that commercial sticks out.
Man,
There's
I don't
nothing.
know why do people watch the Transformers movies? I don't know.
There's nothing.
They're shitty.
There's nothing like that sticks out of it as like, oh, this is a remarkable commercial.
Right. But it's one of those. I think it's just because they played it over and over again. It's one of those things.
Yeah, all right.
If you have a reason why the Sears
I
commercial
feel
was so
left
popular,
out. I
write
feel
it in.
left out that I don't
You
get
missed
it.
out on Freakazoid. You missed out on the Sears commercial.
I feel like I feel like I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something. I feel like I'm not seeing
You are.
the
There's a
magic eye.
hole in your soul.
Like I'm not seeing
where the
this.
Sears
I'm not
commercial
seeing
is.
the schooner.
Interestingly enough, in Mallrats, it's not actually a schooner. It's just like circles.
What the fuck kind of magic eye is that? Who wants to just see shapes?
There's always just shapes.
You
They're rarely a picture.
I remember I would buy books of magic eyes.
Yeah.
And then I would just put them up to the light and look at the image. It was like when they were those like black and white images, like the negative.
Oh.
It wasn't the ones that like really
The
looked like the
stereoscopic
texture.
one? Yeah.
I would cheat immediately.
When my brother was in 6th grade.
My brother. It's off day. It's an off day.
Yeah, it's an off day. My brother was in 6th grade. His teacher had a magic eye book. And for this is when they were really popular, like
I literally just said I
1992.
bought the books. No, it was later than that.
Later than that? When was
I remember the
how old
first
was my
time I
brother?
saw one, I was in the dentist. And
Probably like 93,
it
94
blew my
then.
fucking mind.
I was like in 2nd grade or whatever. I remember this vividly. I don't know how it became known that I could do magic eyes like very quickly.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That's a weird talent.
So his teacher, I was like going in to pick up his homework because he was sick, and she just like gave me the book and was just like, go. And I just like went through the whole book.
That's so weird.
It's just like
What's the skill?
you just have to unfocus your eyes. So the way you see is your two eyes may create one picture. You just have to see two pictures. And if you can do that on demand,
I can't see two of you right now.
I can do it. I can do it whenever
You
I
see
want.
two of me right
yeah,
now.
I see two of you right now. You
Four
have 4
crusties.
eyes. I see 4 crusties.
I can't do it.
And if you can do that, you see the magic eye immediately. I do it sometimes. I compare a lot of documents in my day job, and sometimes I do it for that. But boy, oh boy, that is a picture of Jack right now. Jack is trying to unfocus his eyes. You look like you were possessed. Or possibly the victim of a lobotomy that was not welcome.
I can make you blurry, but I can't do two dance.
You know who you just looked like? You looked like the youngest of Mom's kids on Futurama. The like really stupid one.
Thank you for clarifying.
No, the stupid, ugly one that no one likes. That's what you look
The
like.
one that's got about 2 years left before all of his hair is gone.
That is exactly right.
I can't do it.
I mean, maybe it's like a. Can I take a picture of that and put it on the Patreon for our exclusive?
I guess.
I'm not going to do it. My phone's not right here, so I'm not going to do it.
If I had the Alexa look.
If you had the Alexa, she turned on when you said Alexa, look. Alexa, look.
Girls always get turned on when I tell them to look.
Jack was telling me before we started recording the show that
Shut up.
Amazon has or is coming out with a product that's like the Alexa
Yeah.
Look, where you put it in
This
your.
is news. You're acting like
didn't-
it's some obscure Amazon
Hey man,
trivia.
I didn't hear about it, so maybe our listeners haven't either. It's got a camera in it. You get dressed in front of it, and it tells you whether you look good and suggests new clothes for you. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
This guy on the street told me about it. He goes, here, take this. What you do is you make sure you put
this in your bedroom
Put it in your bedroom and
get dressed in front of it.
Make sure your penis is right there.
That's what you want.
You actually activate it with your penis like
yeah,
in the
like the leftovers.
And basically they're gonna map your room and tell you what to buy.
Yeah.
And they also
I
just
don't
came out
like
with
that.
the
That's
Amazon.
scary.
They also came out with the wand, which I almost bought today because it's free.
Wand.
Yeah, it's $20, but you get $20 in credits for it. And instead
Okay.
of the dash buttons,
Yeah.
so instead of that, you have this wand, and basically you can either talk to it. It's like the old Star Trek Star Wars communicators.
Okay.
Like in New Hope. And you can talk into it and be like, I need more eggs, and it'll buy you eggs. Or you can scan the barcodes of particular items, and it'll give you and it'll automatically order and send those things.
Is it that hard to just open up the Amazon app and just search for what you want?
Yes.
It's not. It's
I
really
can,
not.
I can order so much. I literally just have to say the A word, and then. But we got to stop doing that. By the way. Stop,
we're gonna throw off people's things.
I remembered I didn't want to.
So wait, what is stopping me as your guest and an asshole to just say the A word and then order me 10,000 pounds of condoms?
Human decency.
Well, I don't have
But
that.
that's been happening. A lot of kids have been ordering. a
I'm
bunch
sure.
Of shit.
Well, don't you have to confirm it too?
Like Amazon, give me 10 grams. Give me lots
Those
of
shitty kids. Kids? Those cats always ordering teddy grabs.
Give me 10 grams.
Oh God, we only have 3 minutes left. Is this
we
the
do
show
it?
just gonna limp to a conclusion?
Oh, I feel like I've been limping this whole time. I'm sorry, everybody.
I feel like we started
Look,
strong.
We do episodes every week. I sometimes I'm just gonna have an
Sometimes
off
they're
game.
duds.
You know, LeBron didn't win the NBA championship.
But Steph Curry did, bro.
You're Steph Curry.
Swish.
I'm LeBron.
My wife knows Steph Curry.
So,
All right. Fuck you.
well,
Not really. I mean, they went to the same school at the same time.
Oh, that's not knowing.
I mean, they were in classes together. He actually did recognize my sister-in-law. This is not important. No one cares about this. No one.
I'm also pretty sure this is the third and fourth time you've told the
Well,
story on the show.
it's important to tell people that I sort of know Steph Curry. So
You're sort of related.
we're basically brothers at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna leave you all his money. And
All
his
his
will.
money.
When you kill him.
Well, when I kill him, that is the rules. You get the man's money when you murder them.
That's how it works.
And if you get away with murder, you get to keep that money.
Oh, that's
How do you think Trump got his fortune? It was through his father, who was also rich.
Yeah, he earned not a dime.
Not a dime. All right, we got 2 minutes left. What do we want to do? We shouldn't lightning round a topic.
Boog it. Boog it's a
Do you just want to sing, Mister? You want to try and look at Magic Eyes again, Jack? Oh boy! Now he looked like Bulk when he fell into a cake.
Well, that was from before we started recording.
Was it?
When we were doing Goldar podcast. This is Goldar.
No, I don't want to do it. No, that's behind the paywall. We're gonna put that up on Patreon. That's just for them. That's not for you.
This is our episode guide of Felicity.
That's a great choice for something that Goldar would blog about on a week-to-week basis.
We're going to do a Felicity podcast.
I can't believe she cut her hair. The show's going downhill
It's just like when they cut my wings.
Goldar was a villain on the Power Rangers.
I guess we should explain most of that, huh?
A lot of that's not going to make sense to anyone.
None of this podcast makes sense to anybody. It's amazing.
Well, guys, it's almost over. There's only 70 seconds left, so... I don't know. What should we do now?
We could have done a lightning round
We
topic.
could. Well,
we
now
had
it's-
2 minutes.
Should we do a Patreon topic? Are we late in 1 minute?
No.
Watch that $10 go down the drain. I don't know. It sounds like we're just going to talk and bullshit, and, there's only 45 seconds left now. What'd you do today, Jack? How's life? That was the wrong question to ask, apparently.
It's just miserable. I hate my work. I hate my life. I won a scrape.
I hate your
made
life, too.
quarterfinals in a
I
screenplay
thought I
contest.
saw something about that on Twitter. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's
Me and,
you
friend
and
of the show,
Frank, right?
Pasquini.
Very good, very good.
It's basically Happy Gilmore, but with horse racing. It's called Rusty Trombone.
Oh, all right.
And it's not that bad.
Can our listeners read that anywhere, or is
No,
that is secretive?
No, we have
Keeping
to,
that
fact,
in the
I probably
festival circuit.
shouldn't have said anything about the plot either.
All right, well, we can bleep that out.
We're trying to get it made by Hollywood.
By the
celebrities.
Hollywood
I'm hoping
elites.
Steven Spielberg does it.
Well, he might. All right, that is it for this episode. Mercifully, that is the end of the episode. We
Apologies to Dan Dennis.
we can figure out if we want to release this afterwards. But assuming that we
Of
do,
course we're
Jack.
gonna release it. I'm not
All
doing
right, we're not
another
doing
one.
another episode. Some weeks are bad.
This wasn't bad. It was just.
I
not-
guarantee you, at least one schmuck is going to be in the Reddit being like, "That was my favorite episode ever."
I love when you.
I love it.
I love when
I
you
like
call
when
me
you insult
we
us.
light, not we lead.
I like when you insult us and call us stupid.
I like when you made those funny faces for 5 minutes that we couldn't
Yeah,
see.
that great visual gag in this audio medium. Jack, what did you learn today? As you take a sip of
I
beer.
learned that Freakazoid was an internet-based superhero.
He was indeed. What did
Oh, and I learned that Stu was the voice of the country croc guy. Didn't he die
certainly
a
was.
couple months ago?
I don't know. Did he? No, I think the guy who did the grandpa's voice died.
No, I
on
think
Rugrats.
Stu's dead. Or Chucky. Chucky's dead?
Chucky is dead. Yeah. What's her face?
Isn't Stu dead too, though?
Oh God, what was her name? Not Elizabeth Daly, who was the voice of Tommy, and also the love interest in Pee Wee Herman.
Not Kath Suchi?
Not Kath Soisy. Not
Not the one with the...
Not the voice of Angelica, whose name I can't think of.
Not Harley Quinn.
Christine something. She was the voice of not Ickis, not Crumb,
Elmira?
the other one on Real Monsters.
Elmira?
I don't know. Was she the voice? I don't know if she was the voice of Elmira. Wait, what was the one that looked like an umbrella in our Real Monsters? She was the voice of that one too.
Bobalong? Ooger Booger?
Ooga Booga.
Something with an O, right?
It was something with an O. Oblina. That was it.
Oblina.
That just came out of
Oblong
nowhere.
wasn't-
Oblong wasn't bad. I learned her name was Oblina. That's what I learned after the show, as I was trying to struggle to something to learn. Was that a sentence?
I think whatever I've got is
it's
contagious.
catching. Oh boy. All right, guys, that's gonna do it for this episode of 90s Percentile. If you want more episodes for some strange reason, go to weepodcast.com. That's weepodcast.com. While you're there, you can also get episodes of our Simpsons podcast, worst episode ever, our Sync Points movie commentary series. You can get to our Reddit, our Facebook page, all of our social media, all of our YouTube stuff, all there, our newsletter, all that fun stuff.
And if you want to fast track your topic like Dan Dennis did today with the Nickelodeon cartoons,
Yeah.
which is saying a lot because there's like 2,000 topics in there. So
There are a lot of topics
there's
in the
a
random topic
very good
generator.
chance we'll never get to your topic.
Yeah, we have, we got some sticklers who put in like 100 topics each, which is fine, by the way. You
And
can
it's-
do that.
yeah,
It's
and
totally
still-
okay.
It's still not a big percentage.
We may make fun of you a little bit if you can take a little razzing on the podcast.
I can't.
Oh, all right.
I
Sorry,
have very
Jack.
low self-esteem.
Well, we'll delete all your
I
topics
didn't like
then.
when you called me the ugly, stupid son from Futurama.
Igner. Is that his name? I think
don't
it's
know.
Igner. I think it's Igner.
You're the one that does trivia.
I don't do Futurama trivia.
It's all the same.
All right. It's all the Matt Groening universe. They did
Yeah.
have a crossover episode. We watched
did.
it on Worst
Oh,
Episode Ever,
yeah.
so check it out. It was not memorable or good in
I
any
don't
way.
remember anything about it.
Me neither.
Bender was in it.
Bender was in it. Bending Rodriguez. If you want to follow me on Twitter for some reason, I'm at Dan Says. And I thought Jack might tell us where he is. He's at Jackie No Breaks. The show is at 90s Percentile.
I mean, you could have said, "And Jack, where are you from?" I don't know.
I assumed you would jump in when I threw it to you with a look.
I just
that
stood
said,
there. I just stood
Don't
there.
just stand there with more dead air.
I did that on purpose. It made me
Oh, God.
amused me to watch you just stare at me like, because the look on your face. Because I knew it was coming. Because I was planning the whole time on not
Yeah.
saying anything. It was amazing to see the split nanosecond, the look on your face when you
Yeah.
realized I wasn't gonna say anything. I was just gonna stare.
There were a lot of face-based humor on this episode, and it does not translate well to the listeners. You guys can imagine it, us in our solid gold studio, how it would look.
I see. There was a little movement in your eye just now where you're like, "Oh, he's still not gonna say anything."
God damn you, Jack. All right, I don't know what else we need to do to close the show. We don't
have any new iTunes reviews.
We don't have any new iTunes. You guys are really falling behind on the iTunes review, all right?
Or our biggest fans have done their job, and like Cincinnatus, they went back to the farm. And,
What an obscure reference to Cincinnati.
sorry, it wasn't what a Scorcher.
Yeah,
sorry,
all right, fair enough.
sorry, Roman history
Yeah,
is
all
so
right.
obscure.
I got it. All right, fine.
Sorry, the very basis for a name of a major city.
Amazon.wepodcast.com. You can go there, support the show. Patreon.com/WeStudios. You can support the show that way. iTunes reviews, leave a 5-star. We'll read it on the show. We haven't had any in forever. I can't talk anymore. You're leaving me with all of this, and it's very difficult to get through.
Do you want me to do it?
No.
I don't want to leave you hanging.
No, it's fine. I did it. It's already
It
done.
was a funny joke, and now I'm done, and now I'm ready to participate. What were you doing? The iTunes? What were we up to? Oh, you're doing it to me
not
now.
fun, is it?
Did you see the look in my face when
Yeah,
I
that's a
realized?
pretty
Isn't
good
that fun?
look. Yeah.
Isn't that fun?
That was a lot of fun.
Because you know everything.
I know- I know.
You're waiting for that look.
I'm waiting for the turn where you're just like, fuck
'Cause
you.
It's a completely non-self-aware look.
Yeah.
That look of realization.
There's a look of waiting followed by fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's fun.
It is fun. I think that's it. I think
Did
we're
we-
ready
we
to
got
close the show.
everything?
I think we got everything. So,
Okay.
damn you.
Also, you go first.
No, I don't.
It's episode 68.
No, it's not. You started the show,
When
so
did I
you start
start?
the ending. You were supposed to start. You
No,
start.
it's an even.
67.
It's
No,
68.
It's 68.
You should have started.
My name is Dan, and we'll see you in another decade.
What happened?
Leave that in too.
What?
End this. Leave all this.
When should I hit stop?
Sorry.